of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Alrighty, good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I am your host, DIONNE Anglin. It's so nice to be here. It's great to be in the studio with some special guests. Do you all know that we were here just 1 month ago exact?
Oh,
February 11th. Yeah, the same three.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, February 11th, and today is March 11th. Right? So tonight, and if you've listened a month ago, you would have heard from the Department of Sports where they were highlighting a lot of their Honoring Women's Month activities for the month of March. So we have the head coach and sports coordinator for women once again, Miss Mita Day. Good evening.
Good evening.
We have assistant coach, Miss Jade Bacurn. Good evening, Jade.
Good evening.
Good evening. And fitness coach, Tristan Wesenhagen, who is a volunteer for the Department of Sports Women's Initiatives and Fitness Programs. So
Good evening.
Good evening. Awesome. It's great to have you all back. I know you guys had at least 3 or 4 events already for the month, and there's a lot more to go through for the month of March. So we'll get into that shortly. However, in the second segment, we will be hearing from 2 Cayman basketball under-13 coaches. We have Warriors coach Denton Cole, who is also an under-13 organizing committee member. And along with him is coach Marvin Smith. He's the coach for the Lakers team. So we're looking forward to hear about all these exciting things that's happening with the under-13 basketball league. These kids are exceptional. They're talented. It's good to start from the grassroots program and see how cute they are at that age, dribbling the ball up and down the court. Okay, but when we get back, we're going to talk about Honoring Women's Month and all the activities that the Department of Sports have in store for us. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after the short break.
Hi, I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm excited to announce the DG's 5K Challenge is just around the corner. We kick off things in Little Cayman on March 9th, followed by Cayman Brac on March 16th, and the grand finale on Grand Cayman on March 30th. This year, we're supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the One-to-One Foundation, each helping to shape our next generation. Join us in making a positive impact. For registration details, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
Your mornings just got a whole lot buzzier. Join me, Kathy Miller, every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. on The Buzz, Radio Cayman's morning talk show with insight, impact, and inspiration, covering business, policy, finance, health, culture, and the biggest local and global issues impacting our Cayman community. With fresh perspectives from younger generations to stories of inspiration from local entrepreneurs. Tune in and turn up Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7:30 to 9:30 with me, Kathy Miller, on The Buzz. The Buzz.
The 12 p.m. weather report is brought to you by Kirk Home Center. To see what you can save this month on kitchen gadgets, housewares, decor items, patio furniture, tools and hardware, lawn and garden items, and gift ideas, check out www.kirkhomecenter.ky.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
always love. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. In case you're just tuning in, Tristan Wesenhagen, Mita Day, and Jade Bacurn.
You're a little bit out of breath.
Yes, I am. I didn't want to bring it up, but I think it's obvious that I ran up and down the stairs to get
You were being timed.
I was. Okay. All right. So I am in Mita's fitness class, so it's
My fitness class only?
It's much better. It's much better. It would have been worse had I not been. All right, so I've caught my breath a lot quicker than usual. Okay, so I know you guys have a lot of things planned for the week. And there were a few things that we have already gotten past. I know I did my sports report this evening on the 3 presenters at the
International Women's Day.
Yeah, that was amazing. And Jade, you were one of the speakers.
Yes.
So you were highlighted in this evening's sports as well. So before we get into what's to come, care to share and tell the audience what they've missed so far and whatnot? Go ahead.
So the first event was the Women Empowerment event, and that was Saturday, March 1st. That went very well. I think we would all agree. All 3 of us were there.
Yeah.
And the 3 of us here co-host. And that kicked off with Reverend Mary Graham speaking about women and gratitude. She was our keynote speaker. And then we also had Lydia Jackman, who had launched her book, I think, a month ago. And she was there with her book, and she gave a talk about her book. And that was from Stress to Serenity. It was really well done. The 2 ladies were outstanding. And then in between that, we had some of our fitness group participants walk. We were not calling it a fashion show because it was more for their confidence. Yeah.
An empowerment walk. That's
Yes.
what I called it today on the show.
And they did very well. Yes.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. They were stunning.
They were
Very
stunning.
nice.
Yes.
And someone always says it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it, right?
Yes.
And that truly does matter because all the ladies looked so lovely and they walked very confidently. They looked like they were confident in what they were wearing.
Yes, they did. And we also had the queens there. We had our past Miss Cayman World Universe. That's Jade's mom, actually. Miss Teresa Pitcairn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we also had the present Miss Cayman Universe, our Olympic Reagan, yeah.
Yes.
Reagan
Rutty.
She went to the Olympics and she walked as well. So that was really great.
What led you to host something like that? You touched on it just a bit, but why did you feel it was a necessity? It was important for you to host that event?
Well, we wanted to kick off the month with the gratitude and something that included all the women across the different districts and the different fitness groups. And we were trying to get the use of the indoor gym to do like a variety of different activities that would engage women from different age groups. But unfortunately, we could not get use of that, and I still wanted to keep everybody involved. So we thought we could do it this way, and that way we could include the gratitude as well, and then feature some women who could inspire others and do so with a variety of different, people being highlighted. And so that's what we did. And then we had already used the West Bay group for the October event last year for the seniors to walk. And within the classes, I think we had the women walking because it was for their balance.
Right.
So then we thought, why not? And just throw in some other stuff and just make an event of it.
Speaking of balance, you'll be surprised how many of us does not have it. I, for one, and I think we don't talk about it much, but after having kids too, you lose your balance a lot, especially because of the lower back area. So I know that the class has helped me a lot in gaining some balance. Yes, Coach Tristan, you do a fantastic job at making sure we gain that back. So awesome. And I know the International Women's Day, we had 3 presenters there. They were exceptional as well. What are your views on how the night went?
It went very well. I think there are always things that we can tweak. We've already did some sort of a postmortem. So I think the interaction this year was a lot better than last year. Mm-hmm. And I think perhaps the first presenter, her presentation could have been divided into 2 to give a break. Last time we had people nibble on some food first. This time we decided to put it in between. But I think, and we always knew that her presentation would be longer because of what she was presenting on. Yeah. But there's always things. And then again, the venue was completely different. So space was a challenge, but it was cozier.
But exactly. And that's why it was so much more engaging.
Yes, it was more engaging. And then we put the presenters on the ground. We didn't have theater style. We had it more like as you could see, it was cozier where they were almost like making an eye, because it wasn't a perfect circle. But I think it went very well, and it was very well received, and we were very pleased with the turnout, because we know there were a lot of events on that evening, so we were very pleased with that.
What sort of challenges do you face when organizing events like this? It's I know it's every month. It's an annual thing. Not every month, sorry. It's an annual event for the month of March, and it's a lot of events going into 1 month. What are some of the challenges you all face when putting on such a fantastic and
I think
huge
it's
event?
just typical stuff where sometimes it's miscommunication, or somebody might have dropped the ball not deliberately, and you just have to be ready for every eventuality. And then even when you have all the stuff in place, something else, a curveball is thrown, and you have to just run with it and do what you have to do. I mean, I was supposed to leave work today at 12 o'clock. I left at 5:30.
That's not happening.
I left at 5:30 because something happened where something was incorrect, and it wasn't deliberate, and then it had to be cleaned up and changed, and you just have to stay back and do what you have to do to make sure that it gets done. It's no other course. I mean, Jade, you might want to elaborate on that, because you work closely with me, and you can see some of the things that we face.
I mean, it's challenging. I don't think people realize how much it takes to put on these events, especially in Honoring Women's Month, when we're putting on a series of events back to back. So, challenges are there, but we started preparations really early, and I think we handled everything pretty well.
You all are a great team as well.
Yes, and I mean,
Fun team too.
Tristan, I want you to chime in on that, because, I mean, poor thing, we called him up this evening, he was like, but this is in Canva, all you have to do is log in. And I was like, Tristan, I don't want to log into anything. I was like, and I don't want to curse you out, because I said to him, you're a volunteer, but we don't have time to log in, so we want to call you, and then you deal with it, because we want you to handle all of that.
Right.
It's like,
it's like you got 8 big public open to the public events throughout the month, and then we got a full schedule with almost activities for every single day also.
Right.
So that makes it very busy. The general rule of thumb is that if you do a class, and the class is an hour, you sometimes need 1 or 2 or maybe 3 hours of preparation time for only that one class. You have to set up, you have to break down, you have to get familiar with the environment that you're working in. And for these kind of events, we actually only had a month. So that's not really that much to basically do an entire month of events, and dealing with all the vendors, dealing with graphic design, working with a whole bunch of volunteers that are helping us getting these programs up and running also, setting up the venue at Southtown Community Center, liaising with the, how do you call that person again, the caregiver for the
well, yeah, I mean, and we went there, Jade could tell you, we went there and did several checks before.
Yeah, site checks.
We actually set up the whole room so that we can get an idea, and then walk through things. And I have to say, everybody has been really great.
Absolutely.
Because we're all humans and people have stuff doing. So I am very grateful to everybody who has supported, especially to our sponsors and the Ministry of Sports, because we got use of the hub upstairs, but that's not a regular space that I would use. So
That was a beautiful space.
it
though.
was, and I mean, we decorated it, and then thanks to all the people that sponsored, I mean, the decorations and stuff for 3 of our main events was paid by Mr. Wayne Panton, MP Wayne Panton, and then of course, we had CUC coming on board as a sponsor, and Wellis. I mean, I can't thank them enough. Their food was absolutely amazing on Saturday night for the International Women's Day event. And then you're talking about Cayman Airways and Queen's Gate.
Crown. Yeah.
Crown, I mean, Crown supported us. I mean, we paid for theirs, but they did give us a small donations of some stuff. But the big shout out has to go to our main sponsors of Wellies, CUC, people like Mr. MP Panton. The Ministry of Sports would have been by far the biggest, because when you take into consideration how much we would pay if we had to pay to rent a space that size of the vault, that was phenomenal that we got use of that, and we are getting use of it again for the intergenerational games tonight.
Okay.
This Friday.
It's coming Friday, yes.
Yeah. So, and Department of Sports, of course. And Netball Association, who loaned us their bus to transport people, and who will be loaning us their bus again to bring the Eastern youth group down
For Friday.
For Friday.
Awesome. And Tristan, you and former national boxer Brandy Barnes held a box fit session last night.
That was
I just want to let you, Jade, are you sore? I'm
I
sore.
am.
My thighs, my quads, everything is it's the squats. We were going good until he did squats.
That was not me. It was
you.
Brandy.
It was you.
Nope, it was Brandy.
But it was fantastic.
It was
it was
all
a great
Brandy.
event. Tell us a little bit about that and what did you think of the turnout?
Yeah, so first and foremost, big thanks to Brandy B. Barnes, national amateur boxing talent here on the island with quite some accomplishments under her belt, literally under her
Is she
belt.
still boxing?
Not really at the moment,
Okay.
but I think
She's
based on
coaching.
yesterday, yes,
Yeah.
she's coaching,
She's
but not
coaching.
really boxing herself.
Okay.
But based on yesterday, I think, we stirred something up again.
Hopefully.
So,
She was one of the best.
Yeah.
yeah, she
if
was
not
really
the-
good.
Yeah.
And that's also what you saw,
Yeah.
because she hasn't coached such a group, or at least this group. She barely knew everyone. She didn't know everyone, of course. So in order to just wing it and just do a full hour of box fit, it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? And she was actually participating herself too, so it was actually kind of fun. Yeah,
Especially when you had stubborn, participants like Jade.
yeah, Jade, she didn't want to
She just
join.
didn't want to
right?
do anything.
Yeah.
That's-
Or
yeah.
Trisha,
And Trisha, yeah,
those people,
Yeah,
I was
and
a
then
very good
and
student.
you were so
I
good.
was such a fantastic student. Yes.
Yeah,
It was one of those nights.
it was one of those.
That was fun.
It really was, though.
Yeah.
So, Jade, I know you spoke as well at the International Women's Day. What was that like for you, presenting recovery
Yeah.
on active women?
It was a really good experience. I mean, I had Dr. Jillian Lawrence and Dr. Christina Bramwell presenting alongside of me. So we talked about the active woman, and it's a really important topic that I don't think is talked about enough. So we covered nutrition, which is a heavy topic, and I think
It is.
she delivered it really well. And I mean, there
did.
could have been a whole
Yeah.
few hours alone just on that topic.
Yes.
So yeah, that was really good. And then Dr. Christina spoke about exercise and physical activity, and then I went into the recovery bit. So they all kind of overlapped together, and yeah, it was really good, and it was good to have that kind of interaction with the audience, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed
They really
it.
enjoyed it. We had a lot of good feedback. Yes.
Awesome. What inspired you to choose that particular topic, recovery? Is that something you're passionate about, or was something was given to you?
Yeah, it's something I'm passionate about, and it's often
Neglected.
neglected. I feel like we talked about the benefits of warming up. I feel like
Yes.
people could warm up more often, but
Yeah.
warm up is kind of the more go-to. Not many people know about a cool
About
down.
recovery. Yeah.
And recovery and a cool down. Recovery is not just a cool down; it's the things you do afterwards, and then
Yes.
also the nutrition.
Yes,
to
about
prep you for
replenishing
next,
your
right?
body with
So
water,
it's-
hydration, rest, sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah,
I mean, because when we talked about what we were doing, Jade would tell you I was really adamant when we talked about the topic. I was like, no, it has to be on women and the active. So I actually proposed the title, and I said, I don't know, coin it however you want, but I described what I wanted, and I said I would like it to be not only for an elite athlete, but for women in general. And I think you all did a fantastic job. When we had that meeting with you and Dr. Bramwell, and then Dr. Jillian came on, we brought her in by phone, and I went over it again, and then they came up with the active woman. And I mean, like Jade said, that could go so many places, because mobility alone
Yes.
is
Special,
training,
yeah.
preparation. And I mean, we didn't even touch on the mental, because we thought that would have to be done another time,
Another
rather
day.
than bring in someone to talk about the mental preparation from the psychologist's point of view. That'll have to be completely
That'll be
different.
just as
one.
lengthy as nutrition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
tying into stuff. But it was awesome, and I think they did a great job.
Yes.
I mean,
All three
Dr.
did.
Jillian said to me at one point after, I think, did I talk to her? And I was like, no, you had to, she didn't even touch on half of what they could have talked
Yeah.
about. Yeah. All of them,
She
could have
asked
gone
me-
in more.
Yeah, what
She-
I
she-
found interesting also is that people from the audience were actually asking for more of these kind
Yeah.
of things.
I like
So
the
that's a good-
question.
Yeah, it was,
the
I think that was
questions were
April.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
question and answer part was very good as well.
Yeah.
It was nice to see so many people contribute to asking the questions, the important questions questions that were important to them. That
Yes.
probably they'd never heard an answer to.
Well,
you know?
well, it's true. I mean, April, one of the young basketballers said that to me as well.
Yeah.
2 other people said the same. That was happening to me, and I did not know why.
Yes.
And I know I understand it better. I mean,
And to reiterate, she was speaking about the menstrual cycle.
Yes.
For most women in sports.
Yes, and I mean, even after that, I didn't ask her the question there, but I remember when I was competing as a martial artist, and my body fat was really low, like 12 or something, and I had nothing. It stopped, and I remember the then Department of Sports Director, Charles Brown, saying to me, "It's because your body fat is so low." But then we didn't get around to why and what I should do.
What to do, yeah.
And I mean, that's a normal thing Dr. Lawrence was saying to me that could happen, but then I couldn't understand why. So it was no one that was able to go into, no one talked about it, really.
Yeah.
So those are things that we need to change.
Most definitely. And Jade, how do you balance your role as an athlete and mentor while contributing to community events like what's happening here for the month of March?
Yeah, it's good fun. Keeps me busy. I kind of like both sides of it. So, planning all these events and doing, I was fortunate enough to be one of the speakers, so doing my own research on the side, but then also have that athlete experience.
Yes.
And so it was good for me too. And it was good to hear all the questions and answers and even ask some questions myself. So I was also learning from the 2 speakers.
Awesome. All right, well, before we head out, because it's almost that time, let's talk about what's next. I know we have the games night come Friday.
Yes, that's the intergenerational games night, and that's for people 12 and up. And we will have the use of the entire hub downstairs and the next level, the second floor. And so they'll be playing games where they'll be running up and down and playing, dog and the bone, all sorts of stuff, team building stuff, dominoes, board games. We have Jeopardy, and we have.
You say dog and the bone.
Yeah, why not?
What is that?
That's where you have to grab it and then run without the other person touching you. I'm just using that one as an example. No,
I learned it.
That has been a game happened a few years ago. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have some good snacks and foods and we're going to we're partnering, NDC has jumped on board and Youth Services Unit, so we're going to have a Proud of Them honoree there, and I believe one of the youth ambassadors, and then all the young youngsters that are working with Youth Services Unit, and their whole team will be there to support us. So we'll have proper supervision, and it's going to be a great evening. So we're going to have like the Jeopardy game, science and nature, or like general knowledge quiz and stuff on Cayman, and then we're going to have one that's more sports orientated.
Okay.
So you can do all sorts of stuff, and it'll be different places that will be in the hub. We'll be taking over different areas and lots of different activities, and we ask people to please call us. The flyers out there. I think online they can RSVP through Youth Services link, or they can call Jade or myself, because we want to know the numbers. Ideally, we don't want to go over 100.
Okay, because I was about to ask who is invited to this.
Yes, it's open to the public, but we have youth groups coming from East End. We have Savannah youth group coming from the United Church. West Bay, I don't think will be able to come, from what I was made to understand, but that doesn't mean that youth from West Bay. We've invited the netball teams, the Rising Stars, the basketball clubs, Coach Redvers. We've been targeting some of the Department of Sports staff groups. I've even reached out to some of my fitness and more campers to see if their parents would bring them, and then we have the seniors and stuff is open to people of any age as long as you're 12 and up, because it's not a babysitting evening.
No,
yes,
it's not. Well, just so the audience knows that the Department of Sports have taken over Sports Extra for the entire month of March. So every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30 we'll be featuring someone from the Department of Sports, or that's on the agenda for some of the events that you have, you have for the month of March.
Yes.
Right. So next week, do you have in your head who's on for next week Tuesday yet?
It'll probably
not,
be two of us on one. No, next week, the 18th. I think the week after would be Dr. Bramwell. She will be here before her stretch event.
Yes.
And then we'll be back to talk about the bar event. I think you came to that last time.
Yes, I
with
did.
Teresa Hargrave.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll
Would
be
it
on.
be her
That'll
again?
be Wednesday the 18th. Yeah.
It's her again.
Or
Okay.
Wednesday the 19th.
Wednesday
I
the
think.
19th.
Yeah.
Yes, and all of those will be upstairs in the next level.
Awesome. And for Tristan, tell me before we go, how do you measure the success of Honoring Women's Month, and what are your long-term goals for this initiative?
Well, my personal goals is to be a part of it for as long as I possibly can.
You look lovely in purple, by the way.
Thank you.
Handsome, I should say. Very nice.
Guess who selected that shirt?
Purple
So
looks good on
the
you.
shirts are always purple.
He looks good.
Not like
He
I
looks good in
selected
it.
it specifically.
Yeah, what can I say? When you see, regardless the work that leads us to, that is needed to get there, I just look at the audience. I look at how the women are walking and being confident and showing their outfits and that kind of stuff, having big smiles.
Yes.
When I review the photos, because most of the time we are hustling, doing stuff that needs to be done on the spot,
Right.
or things that we need to fix, or things that we need to attend to. And I don't really get to enjoy the event itself because we're always busy.
Yeah.
And when I then get the photos from the miscellaneous photographers that we have used,
Yes.
then I'm like, wow, that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Or if I share it around, or we share it in our groups and we get the feedback, that really gives me a nice, boost of how do you say that? A confirmation that we're doing good stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Feedback,
that's what I enjoy the most. So, for example, with whether it's box
What
fit or
did
something
you
else.
call Jade's mum walk?
No, that was the bomb. That was crazy. She stole the entire show.
She was good.
I didn't expect that song, and she just nailed it. It was amazing.
Oh, you got to choose your own song?
No,
She
came
did?
up. So
Yeah.
She came up with her
when
song.
I introduced her, she was like, "Mita, you better have that song ready." And I was like, "Let me try and think which song this is. I know which song this is."
Oh, Sugar Hill Gang,
Play
right?
that. Yeah, Sugar
Yeah.
Hill Gang. And let me tell you, when I tell you, she
Wow, amazing.
is amazing.
So we don't have the video of that, but we have the photos of that.
We do
and when you
have the
just look
video.
at it, we do?
Found it yesterday.
Ah,
Oh, nice.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then I look at that and like, oh, wow, what is this, right? It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
She
So
was
it's
really good.
just
That
gives a
was
lot
rad.
of joy. Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool.
Jade, did you walk as well?
I didn't. I was a part of the hosting
Okay.
crew.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, and so next week we'll touch on other topics pertaining to what's next for that week.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Any last words before we head out?
We'd like to thank the public for supporting us, and we ask for
Absolutely.
their continued support. And we a huge shout out again to our sponsors: Wellies, CUC, Cayman Airways, Queen Gate, Mr. Wayne Panton, the Minister of Sports for that brunch that we did, of which
Oh, yes,
2 of you were
absolutely.
there
Yes.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
That was amazing as well.
Was.
The camaraderie with all the different athletes and various people from different sporting backgrounds. It was awesome, and we really thank the ministry for supporting us with that, and for the other things that they have supported us with, and also the Department of Sports, and of course all the volunteers like Sarone and Jesse and Shakira and Wendy,
Yeah.
and then
Miles,
James
yeah.
Miles and Tristan, the honorary women that came in, and Jade has been amazing, has given me amazing support, and of course Mr. Watler and Laverne Ebanks, who is acting assistant director of sports, and then that week was acting as director of sports. It was amazing to have an all women line up to
yes.
speak. Miss Seymour, who did the prayer, and then also Shakira, Laverne's daughter, who sang. Who would know that Shakira could even sing? Yeah,
Yes.
it was an amazing, and Melissa, who helped me to co-host.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Mita, Tristan, Jade, continue to do a fantastic job. What I love about you guys before we go is you all don't just wait for Honoring Women's Month to honor women. You do it all year long. And
You know, as a
yes,
participant, the things that we do.
yes, and I appreciate you, and I know many others do as well. So thank you very much. We'll be right back. Let's take a short break. We'll be back after some messages. Stay tuned.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. During the last Lionistic year, they successfully carried out community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, site screenings, spelling bee, swim meets, and their community food pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service during the 2024-2025 Lionistic year and for many more years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
The nation listens. The candidates speak. Subway presents the General Election Debates, live in studio on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM and 93.9 in the Sister Islands, starting March 17th. Every Monday and select Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. 2 sessions, one powerful discussion. With Election Day fast approaching, hear what the candidates have to say on the cost of living, housing and development, economic growth, sustainability, education, transport, tourism, immigration, and more. Who has the vision? Who has the plan? Hear it all unfold live, unfiltered, and on the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM and 93.9. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Visit Radio Cayman's social media pages for debate details. Brought to you in part by Cayman Enterprise City.
This time for Africa.
Opening up on that right side, it caught a deflection on its way. 31 minutes, but 0-0. Here's the corner kick.
It's the world's game. It's Cayman's game.
On his right over the top.
We live, breathe, and dream football. We are CFA.
Now they're looking to surge into the 5th round.
Cayman Islands Football Association.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. In the studio with us, we have members of the Under 13 Basketball League, right?
Mhm.
It's supposed to be boys and girls, but
Yep.
we didn't get enough girls this year, so the girls joined the boys, right?
Yep, yep.
So it's been pretty good. I've watched
been
a few
very good.
games. Yeah,
Been very
it's
good.
Really exciting. And you know what I love? I love seeing the girls play amongst the guys.
Yes.
That's how that's how we develop. That's how I started. Playing with the
Okay.
guys. So I think it's pretty cool. In fact, I don't even think we need a girls' league. We just let them play with the boys. Let's get them rough. Let's go.
Get them rough. There we go.
So how are you all? All is well?
Yeah, doing very good. Very good. Thank you for having us on.
You're very welcome. How's coaching been? Is this your first time coaching?
So actually, no, I coached basketball for 15 or 16 years back as a youth pastor.
Okay.
And so I did that for quite a few years and then brought it here and I'm enjoying it, loving it here. Yeah.
Yeah. What you're a youth pastor of what church?
I was a youth pastor back in Iowa
Okay.
of Harvest Baptist Church, and now I'm the pastor of Good News Baptist Church.
Here.
Yeah,
Oh,
here on the island.
cool.
Yep,
Very
Tropical
nice.
Gardens. Yep.
It's good to have you. We need that sort of positivity with the youth
Absolutely.
as well.
That's
So
why I
it's
wanted to do it.
Exactly. Great to have you on board. And Coach Denton,
Yeah.
I've known you in the men's league for several years and a very good player. And now you're giving back to the sport by coaching. You're still playing, I'm sure. Are you playing in the league this year? The men's league?
Last year.
Last year.
You know, my body's telling me.
you, oh.
Yeah, telling me it's time. But yeah, no, I played last year. Played in the over 40 league.
Right, right.
Which we
I remember
won
that.
last year as well.
Can't forget that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it's my second stint of coaching in Cayman because I won that was about maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I won the under 16 girls competition.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that was good.
Yeah, that's when you knew this. I like this. This is to me. I like coaching.
Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty good. What has been some of the great things about coaching in this league for both of you?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Inter.
Yeah, I just like seeing players develop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And not only develop as players, but develop as people.
Yes.
As well. Right. And it's good that we've got the integration of the girls and the boys.
Yes.
I think it's a good thing, especially at this age group when you can. Right. Because.
Yes.
You know,
as they get older, as the boys get older, the girls will no longer be able to play with them. So, like you're saying, this is a very good stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's not being
Oh no! No, it's true.
It's not derogatory to girls or anything, but I think
it's true. It's a biological fact.
Yeah. So internationally, in most sports, and a lot of, some people may not know this, but in most sports, like when the women national team, they actually practice against 16-year-old boys.
Right.
And that's kind of the cutoff, because after that,
the guys become too strong and physical. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I love being involved with this league where we've got a range of ages from 9 to 13, and we've got boys and girls playing together, same floor, same team, and it's going well.
Awesome, and you're also a part of the organizing committee for the Under-13 League.
Yes.
What's that been like for you?
Oh, it's been amazing. We've got a great group of guys, and we're all on the same wavelength,
right?
On the same page.
Yeah, because you have it's a consortium of coaches, right? And you're a part of developing these players and I guess improving basketball at that level. Mm-hmm. So you guys usually have to come together and discuss things.
Oh yeah, so we met a lot before. We've known each other for years.
Right.
We're planning more leagues. So this is the first, and we're gonna go into under 12s, under 10s.
Oh, that was going to be one of my questions. I was going to ask you if you guys think we can go at a lower age.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because in most other countries, and Coach can attest to this as well. It's starting pretty young, but here in Cayman, I think from what I'm seeing, they start the track and field and football pretty young.
Yeah.
But swimming maybe, but when it comes to basketball, it
start like under 16.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and in terms of development, they definitely need to reduce that. Yeah.
Definitely, it's good to see all the kids, like you said, the camaraderie at that young age coming together.
Very much.
Because, like we said, we usually start basketball in Cayman at under 16. We start earlier in the into primary leagues, but just a SEBA league itself, it's good that we've started this program. So I have a very interesting question for you all. I know at this age group, parents are an integral part of the program, of course. Yep. What challenges have you faced in dealing with parents who focus more, how do I say this, on their child rather than the team or the sport itself? And how do you identify those parents and deal with those situations?
So first, I want to say thank you to all the parents.
Yes.
Thank you so much for parents for letting your children be a part of it, and that is a huge, huge part of the development of them. So very, very grateful that all the kiddos are part of it. I think that one of the biggest things is, as far as parents being a part of it, is understanding that at this age, the children are learning. Everybody's trying to learn together, and not to put too high of a standard on your young people.
Yes.
And I think that is such a important thing. And teaching the parents teaching the students to respect the refs is a huge part, because obviously from a fan sitting up in the crowd, it's easy to yell out and say things. And at this age, it's not a huge competition.
Right.
It's more of a leadership thing that we really get to focus on, get to develop the young people, their character at this point. And so finding parents and I think we have them, parents that are very involved in developing the young people. I will say one of the challenges getting people to the practices, getting the children to the practices. I think that's one of the challenges that we have. And we don't have a lot of practices Wednesday afternoons, and I don't know if other coaches have some practices together, but we practice every Wednesday, 4:30, unless the weather doesn't permit. But,
I think I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it's important that we make parents feel involved as well. Mm-hmm. So perhaps outings other than basketball, getting the parents together with the children, then they start to get connected and they realize, hey, this other parent and myself have a lot in common, and then you see they start bringing their kids out to the games because they become more interested as they become familiar with the their surroundings and the people around them as
Right.
well.
Very
so
much,
that's sort of a hint and a way that we can go forward.
No, that's so true. Yeah, it's a lot about the parents at this age.
Yes,
because
it is. You need them for everything.
You need them for everything.
Yeah, you're dealing with very young kids
Yes.
who may not move around on their own. They need a lift, to places. Need money. Need support, need guidance. So on and so forth. So yeah, it's a lot about coaching the parents too, as well as coaching the children.
Right, very important as coaches to coach the parents as well, because a lot of them don't know the game.
Right,
they really don't. They're just yelling out instructions, saying things, and they really don't know the game that well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about how do you guys go about taking control of situations like that and ensuring parents stay positively involved in the program.
Yeah, I think education. So as you rightly said, I think unlike maybe track and field again or football, which we all kind of grew up worldwide.
Two of our focus sports here in the Cayman Islands as well. Yes.
Of course, swimming.
Yes.
That stuff like that. Not many people. I don't think a lot of the parents actually know a lot about basketball.
Right.
Knowing the ball goes in the hoop.
It's a very intricate sport.
Yeah, 2 points
very
for that
detailed.
one, 3 and so on. So yeah, it's about. I think for me, it's about education. So it's getting them to understand, and a lot of the referees in the league and organizers as well, Coach Vu and so on, will take the time to within a game to
very much
explain the rules or why we.
He does that a lot while he's reffing, especially.
Yeah,
and then you wonder why you're slowing down the game. But it's to educate the parents and the players as well.
Yeah, the supporters are young kids. Some of them don't understand all the intricacies of the game, and the parents as well. And it's just to stop the game. For 15 seconds, 10 seconds, it won't hurt just to explain that, hey, you were in the key for more than 3 seconds, and that's a violation. Oh, okay, didn't know that.
Right.
Go after the ball and not the body.
That's a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul. It's not rugby. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I know what I'm noticing is that SEBA president is making a lot of efforts in involving every age group in basketball. Do you think it's sustainable and beneficial for basketball development, do you think? We touched on it earlier, but
I definitely think it's sustainable. I think that as long as the young people continue to come up and continue to have the desire, and I think that a lot of that really comes down to how much effort we put into the program. If we make the program one exciting, where they're going to learn for the next, where they can take and use their skills in the future, and obviously not every child's going to make it to different levels, but I think that as they grow, I think that it's a sustainable program for the future of it. Yeah,
definitely, Coach.
Yeah, I think basketball for me has been so much more than basketball, right? And that's why I still play basketball now. Basketball is about friendships. It's about teamwork. It's about being selfless and giving up for the good, for the cause of the team, and right. It's about playing your role, right? And these things can help you in school, and it can also help you in the workplace, right? Because you might find people that didn't play a lot of sports. They may not be as great a team player. Not saying always, right? But as someone who has played sports and understand that, I need to share this wealth with you, right? So it's way more than that. So on our team, we try to encourage passing. Right, the main word at every game is passing, sharing. Boys to girls, girls to boys, right? For the good, and I preach them that if we pass a lot, then we'll all eat, right? And then we'll all win, right?
Yeah, definitely. How speaking of that, how do you all balance or handle the ball hogs on the team? We call them ball hogs in basketball, for those of you who are not aware, and that's the one who wants the ball in their hand all the time because they believe that they're the greatest player out there, and that's fine. But how do you help nurture and guide that thought process, and in helping that particular athlete share and realize it's not an individual sport, it's a team sport?
Yeah, I think that one is, I think whenever we started coaching, they gave us a character development program for us to be able to instill into the young people And every week they ask us to instill this one character lesson into the boys, into the girls, and help them in that. And the very first one was teamwork.
Right.
And that there's a lot more strength when everybody comes together, when everybody works in the same direction. And so I think that looking at those different character things that they're trying to develop into these young people, the first one being teamwork, I think that really, really adds value to the whole team, and letting them know that even though someone's not as good, if we use all of our team, the other team that might just use one player is only as strong as that player.
Right.
And so I think that teaching them that teamwork is a good character quality that they've really put into them. So.
And maybe we could share just a few of the other, because we've got 8 weeks of the league, I believe.
Yep.
Maybe we could share some of the other, emphasis points for each week. I think there's teamwork. There's a leadership week.
Yeah.
There is, not sure.
There's some on how to handling adversity and overcoming challenges.
Okay.
I think that's a huge one, because as a child grows up, we're all going to experience adversity. We're all going to experience challenges in life. So teaching them how to handle whenever they miss the free throw, and man, they feel like it was the game-winning shot, but they lost it, And how do they handle that? And teaching them how to handle those things. There's the respect for the game and the respect for others is one of them. There's leadership on and off the court, as Denton mentioned there. Accountability, taking responsibility. That I can't just blame everybody else. I lost because of somebody else, or we didn't get as far as we should have because of somebody else. But taking personal responsibility. Yeah. So those are some of the things that are in there. There's a few other ones, but
and that certainly beats how I grew up playing ball, which is you show up
quite the opposite of all of that.
You show up, and you show up to win, right, and to beat the other team down and so on. There was never kind of an emphasis, and that's good that the committee and the directors put that in place, that every single week in our league there's a focus point which we're drilling into kids, and it's way bigger than basketball, and it's about personal development.
Yeah, and it's not Denton's fault that we lost the game.
That's the thing.
It's a team initiative. It's a team.
But as the coach, I'll hold my hand up, and I'll try and take some of the blame.
Yeah,
to soften the blows blow on the kids, because I can take it, right? I've lost a lot in my life. So.
Well, I think at this age group, and I've coached in the youth leagues before, and I think at this age group, it's usually the coach's fault. We take the full responsibility.
Well, I sat down with Coach Vood after the game. That I said, "Okay, tell me what I can do better, man." He said, "Do this, and do this." And
he laid out everything
for you.
All right,
thanks, man. Appreciate it. So.
Well, that's good, and it's good that we have coaches that take heed, take advice as well. It's not very many people do that. They're willing to hear and take advice from their seniority. So we're going to take a short break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about your teams, Lakers and Warriors. Okay. Warriors, Lakers. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right.
Your mornings just got a whole lot buzzier. Join me, Kathy Miller, every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. on The Buzz, Radio Cayman's morning talk show with insight, impact, and inspiration, covering business, policy, finance, health, culture, and the biggest local and global issues impacting our Cayman community, with fresh perspectives from younger generations to stories of inspiration from local entrepreneurs. Tune in and turn up Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7:30 to 9:30 with me, Kathy Miller, on The Buzz. The Buzz.
System 1 loaded. For the record, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 9:30, we interview the various government ministers, opposition, and Cayman Island legislators. For the Record is brought to you by West Bay Pharmacy at Centennial Towers. Visit us today for fast, efficient, and professional service. Everything you need and the hours you need it at West Bay Pharmacy.
There's a new feel to Sundays that's coming soon.
If you like a bit of this,
or a bit of this,
or even a bit of this,
then we've got just what you're looking for. I'm Sam Oakley.
And I'm Tarek Younusafana. Join us every Sunday at 3 for Classics on a Sunday.
Because classical music doesn't need to be boring.
Yesterday,
Today.
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Ian Celtics. Welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra, and we have Coach Martin Smith and Coach Denton Cole in the studio with us, and we're talking a lot about the Under-13 Basketball League and parental control when it comes to sports and leadership in sports, as it is it's very competitive. It's a competitive sport, but it's not an individual sport, right? It's a team sport, and about teaching the kids that aspect of the game.
Yeah.
But I want to go into the league itself. So we have you here representing the Lakers,
yes,
and you're representing the Warriors. All right, and then who are the other coaches? Because there are two other teams.
Yeah, so we've got Ian and Gregory. So they're also part of the organizing body, and they represent the Celtics and the Bucks.
Yep. Yep. So there's Ian McRae and Gregory Miller. Yep.
I was just about to look up Ian's last name.
McRae.
I know Gregory Miller, but I had to look up. Okay, so awesome. So Coach Denton, and the same for you too as well. What has been most rewarding, or the most rewarding part of coaching the Warriors team this season?
The rewarding part, obviously being around the kids and just like seeing the development of the individual kids. And it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
Right. We've had what 4 weeks or 5 weeks of games?
I think 4 or 5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks, and with a Wednesday practice and so on, and the transformation in that just that short time has been it's just amazing, right? For players who from the first day they maybe couldn't catch a rebound,
right?
And now they're like scoring points. Like my son's 9, and he just scored he's been increasing his point output. Now he's at 7. In the first game he was at 2, and now he's at 7 points.
Okay, hey, look at that.
Yeah, and he's so happy with himself, right? So it's just seeing that that kind of sense of accomplishment and growth in the kids is really what does it for me.
Yeah. I like seeing the confidence that gets built in the young men, the young ladies, as they take and they mature in a certain skill that they get there. So seeing their confidence build, because as you succeed in one thing, you build a little bit more. If you're a bad dribbler at the start, and you get a little bit better as a dribbler, you feel like, man, I can actually dribble now.
Yes.
And so being able to see the development of the young men, the young ladies there, I think is really, really exciting. I enjoy just being able to take and try to teach the big guys, okay, let's try to be really big down low, and let's try to dominate down there, and they start to build that strength down there.
Right.
And because in our world, everybody likes to shoot the threes right now. And so being able to teach them that the game inside is really good. So I've enjoyed watching, just as Denton said there, the development of it. And so I think that seeing the young men the young ladies really grow together has been a really fruitful, I guess, a rewarding thing for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how do you see the league evolving in the next few years, and what role do you want to play in that?
Well, that's a big question. That's a big one. Yeah. So I hope that the league really grows. I really hope that the young men, I think that, in my opinion, basketball, and I always think of American football because being from America that I think about, but I think that football, all of these sports, what they do is they teach you how to go so much further in life. And when you work together, you can go further together. And a one-man show is only as big as he is. And so I think that if the development of the program, I think they can really go far as long as it gets a good, solid foundation for giving the children opportunities to shine, giving them those moments to where they can take and really prove their skills, I guess I would say. So I want to be a part of it. Time is obviously a huge factor in all of it, and that's a big thing, finding the time to fit in everything.
That's my next question to you. How do you balance being a pastor and a coach for this league?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun trying to figure it out.
Luckily, it's one day a week.
Yeah, it's one day a week.
You're still coaching team practice, right?
Yeah, so Wednesday there's team practice. So like I have church on Wednesday nights,
Okay.
and so I get done with coaching. I try to leave by 5:45 so I can beat the traffic,
Right.
go home, pick the family up, come to church, and and be able to take into balance those few things out there. I think that really it just comes down to time management. Sometimes you got to get up earlier
Right.
so that you can do the things that you want to do, and
Awesome.
and adding value to these young men is something that I want to do. These young ladies, I want to add value to them. And so that's it's worth it to me. And so I know this year I'm all in, and I want to be in as much as I can right now. And if the Lord allows me to in the future, I'm going to hopefully be a part of it in the future as well.
I love that. And what about you, Coach Denton? What future improvements or changes would you like to see in the Under-13 league?
Well, at the moment we've got at relatively short notice, we've got 40 kids, in our league, and I think that's a great accomplishment for the first time in the league. We could have further divided it into 6 teams, but we really wanted to keep it tight. So I'd love to see more teams enter, maybe 6 or 8 teams in the league would be good. Pushing the numbers up, growing year on year, by 10, 20 kids a year. Because there's so many kids that just didn't know,
true.
It was on, right?
Yeah.
And they just kind of almost
Hearing about it now.
Yeah, hearing about it now, and they're like, well, you're kind of late, so on and so forth. So, we want to run more leagues on an annual basis. I want to see a home of Cayman basketball.
Yeah.
One day,
and a girls' league at that. As well.
Same. Yeah, I want to see a home of Cayman basketball with a proper building set up where they can use at any time. Because now we're kind of in 3 venues. Which is not bad, to be in different places, but it would be good to have a
home.
A home.
Most definitely.
A home of basketball.
I wanted to ask you all before we go. I know we spoke earlier about the boys playing with the girls. How are you helping? How do I put this question? How are you helping the girls mix with the guys? And I know as a girl myself, a woman myself, when I was that age, it was very difficult to earn the respect of the guys with them passing the ball to the young ladies. How do you encourage that participation?
Yeah, it's so funny, right? That if there was a under 14 girls league,
yes,
maybe none of the boys would want to play, right?
Right.
But there's a under 14 boys league, and the girls want to play.
Yes.
Right. So I think just by virtue of that, they're already confident. And they're with being in the situation, right? So they want to be there for sure, right?
Yes.
The next phase is saying to guys, "Hey, listen, she's open.
Give her the ball.
Give her the ball.
Yeah.
Right."
And some of the girls are playing very
well.
defense.
Yeah, I would.
Some of the girls.
These girls have the fundamentals.
I have to show off. My daughter is locking down some of the top players. She's only 11.
The girls have very good fundamentals. I'm just going to give them that, and it's amazing.
They're doing so well.
That's very good. That's good stuff. Thank you all so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Before we head out, just plug the Under-13 League and tell people to come out and tell them where they can sign up for the next competition, if anything.
Yeah, so I think they're planning on doing one this fall, I believe. I'm pretty sure about that. So come on out if you play basketball. If you don't even play basketball, you just want to learn the sport, come on out and reach out to Coach Colin or reach out to ourselves and just find out where to get connected with. I'm not even sure where it is exactly that they get connected.
How can they get in touch with you?
So the league itself, the current home of the league is UCCI. Right. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. that's the first game, and then we have the second game at 5 p.m. every Saturday, unless the
venue changes.
The venue changes, right?
Right.
But most times it will be at UCCI on a Saturday, 4 or 5, and come out. And the games have been super competitive.
Yes.
No blowouts. And it's fun. It's fun, and I think everyone should really come on and try and enjoy that.
Here's what I'll say: if they got questions, text me, call me 916-8183.
916-8183.
That's it, right there.
All right, that's Coach Martin. Coach Denton. He's like, no, I'm not giving up my number. I ain't giving up my number. That's okay. We can once you get Coach Martin, you can get in touch with everyone else.
Just so you know, it's Marvin.
Marvin.
That's all right.
Like my 4th time saying
Marvin. It's okay. That's all right.
I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for correcting me. All right. All right. So that's it. That'll do it for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. Of course, if you would like the opportunity to be featured on our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextrakman@gmail.com. Also, you can check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra social media pages. Just keep up to date with all sporting activities here on Island. And of course, you can log on to Radio Cayman's YouTube channel for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. My production team over there, good night to you and thank you. I'm DIONNE ANGLIN. Good night and God bless. Thanks, gentlemen.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.